My name is Cecile Ndjebet. To keep it short, I say Cecile Ndjebet. And I'm now coordinating a local NGO here we call Cameroon Ecology. But I'm also a director and founding member of the African Women Network for Community Management of Forests, which is a regional network of women involved in women's rights, advocacy, and policy influence. And that network is covering now 17 countries. Apart from that, or adding to that, I'm also coordinating the CSO platform for Red and Climate Change of Cameroon since 2011. And just recently, I was elected the coordinator, regional coordinator for civil society, Red and Climate Change platform for Central Africa. I studied in Wolverhampton from March to June 1994. Our course was Community Forestry for Local Development. I don't have the title very fresh, but I have it in my CV. But it was about community forestry and local development. And this was very important for our country because we just got a new forestry law, and there were provisions in the law for community involvement in forest management. It was a very nice course. It was very practical. I'm happy that I had that opportunity. And when I came back, I joined the ministry and we started working. I was trying to influence a little bit how the communities or the local population can get into what community forestry is all about. I had a very good training. I got the capacities to do the community forestry and added it. And we have to link gender and community forestry. First, community forestry, it was new. We didn't know it. All these social aspects of forest. In the past, we know forest as foresters, very technical, male-oriented and male-dominated activity. But later, when the law was issued, we needed to develop another way of managing forests, and that's where community forests came in. The UK government, they funded a project here in Cameroon we call Community Forestry Development Program. The idea was that when I'm back, I'll join the project and help develop the community forestry scheme in Cameroon. I was not given the opportunity to do that. And I felt so frustrated that I said, what am I doing in this ministry if I cannot help to establish a community forestry scheme? I have been trained. I got very good training with practical exercises. I feel confident and very well capacitated to do that, but in the working environment was not that suitable, and so I decided to quit the administration, and I joined the civil society. Later on, the ministry was needing the staff, technical staff, because I quit. I was no more there. Now they realized that they needed that knowledge, those capacities. I was working then with a regional NGO, and I was now contracted there as a consultant to come in the ministry and help to establish the community forestry scheme. I was there. They didn't value my presence and my capacities I brought from the UK, and now I'm outside and they realize that they have missed a lot from me, and I had to come back, but this time not as a ministry staff but as a consultant. I helped the ministry to establish a community forestry scheme. I trained very high qualified civil the ministry staff. Today the community forestry has really made a good step, and Cameroon is becoming like a reference on that with other Central African Republic Central African countries. When I left the ministry, I went to that regional NGO, but I worked there for 3 years. I was still looking new ways for me to be more useful for Cameroon. And from the experience I gathered during my 3-year work with that regional NGO, I created a local NGO, national NGO we call Cameroon Ecology, and to promote with communities the real community forestry activities. Cameroon Ecology is Cameroonian NGO, and I got involved in community forestry and tenure rights. Community right to forest, community right to land. And within those community rights, I'm very much focused on women rights. So because I think that to achieve, as we are really expecting and we are aiming to achieve sustainable management of forests, we need to take into account women. I realized that women were not so well organized. They are not that well organized so far, but at least we can now be happy to count on some women network at regional level. I have founded the African Women Network for Community Management of Forest, which is regional. Now we have 17 countries. We are present in 17 countries in Africa, West and Central, English and French-speaking countries, where we really have, our mission is how to influence policies towards gender equity in the management of natural resources. In 2011, we created the CSO National Platform for REDD and Climate Change, and I was elected the coordinator, the national coordinator. So I'm coordinating also that civil society is for the whole Cameroon. And just, I think 2 weeks ago, I was elected the coordinator for civil society, REDD and Climate Change Platform for Central Africa. I'm coordinating Cameroon, but I'm also coordinating 10 other countries in Central Africa. I think there is a need to train civil society organizations, women organizations, administration in REDD. You know what? I pushed and I got it. We had now gender focal point in 9 ministries. REDD is coming, climate change is there, FLECTI is there, the forest governance is there. We need to have gender mainstream in all those processes. Gender is bringing added value.